Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Sophie and today I want to do the Booktube newbie tag. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? Well, I read a lot and I've been reading a lot since I was a child, so I'd like to talk to people about books and my love for books. And I don't know about you, but in my daily life I don't have that many people I can talk to books about, except maybe what book I'm reading. But what really intrigues me about booktubers as well, that you can discuss books and talk more in depth about what you feel about a book, what it taught you, and what you can learn about the world from a book, because that is what I love about books. The openness to teach you stuff and to experience more than just your daily life without having to have a lot of money and going about the world and travelling. The second question is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Well, I think at first I'm not the average YA reader. I've done that, but I'm 24, so that's not my daily reading. And what I'm reading is quite unusual in the sense that I read a lot more non-fiction than fiction on a variety of subjects, ranging from feminism over politics and all kinds of stuff. And even if I read fiction, it's mostly on a subject that interests me, not just any novel, you know what I mean? Also, I think because I'm from Germany and doing this channel in English, which is my most read language, and also I speak Danish, I learned that as a child. So I have already 3 languages I'm reading in, and I'm working on my French, and hopefully we'll be reading more books in French over the years. So my perspective with reading books from different languages and then also from different countries makes it kind of unique in the sense that not all people have that kind of range of perspective from languages and countries. The third question is, what are you most excited for with this channel? And I guess I already said that, but I really hope to meet people who are as excited about books as I am, and to play an active part in that community, being able to discuss books and bring something new to the table from my unique reading experience. The fourth question is, why do you love reading? And I think we all have something in common about why we love reading, but for me the biggest part is getting to know other parts of life and the world that I can't, from where I live, from what my job is, from what my education entailed, and I think books offer all that without having to spend a lot of money or go anywhere, and I think that's just magical and wonderful. The fifth question is, what book or series got you into reading? And for me, I'd have to say this is the Felix-series. It's a little German children's book, and of course my parents read that to me when I was really young, but I started reading myself quite early on. So this is by Annette Langen and Constanza Droop, and it's about this little stuffed animal, Felix, who goes on a lot of adventures and writes letters from all his travels to his little owner and friend, who's called Sophie as well. So I think a huge part of that was just identifying with the characters and especially Sophie. This is the cookbook from the series, because I don't have the first volume with me at the moment, but I think it represents it quite well, and you can see Felix on there. Also, I would have to say Harry Potter. I first read this when I was about 12 years old, and I only got through the first 4 books and then abandoned it for I don't know really what reason, but I raced through those 4 volumes and it really got me into reading fast and a lot. And for a standalone, I'd have to say The Mutiny on the Bounty by John Boyne. This is the German edition, because back then I didn't read in English yet. And I found this in my local library and I just loved it. It's about the mutiny on the Bounty, of course, as the title suggests, but told from the perspective of John Jacob Turnstile, who is 14 years old and kind of the help boy on the ship. And yeah, it really made me connect with that boy and the whole story, and I've always loved stories about sailing, the oceans, and I pulled through that so quickly, and it really helped me enjoy how books can take you anywhere. So the 6th question is, what questions would you like to ask your favourite booktubers? And I'd first have to say my idols are Lauren Wade, books by Leynes, and Angeline, who is not straightforward a book channel, but she does books as well, and it's so nice. And for me, the first question I'd like to ask all those is, how did you dig up the confidence to start a booktube channel? Because I've been watching booktube for a long time and always thought, like, I can't do this, it's not me. And I'd like to know what made you feel the way you could contribute something to this community. The second question is, what were your hopes and expectations going into booktube, and were they met, or how did booktube and your journey on booktube surprise you? The seventh question is, what challenge do you think will be the hardest to overcome with starting a booktube channel? And for me, I think that would mainly be retaining a regular uploading schedule whilst I continue studying again. Because at the moment I'm in my summer holidays, but coming October I'm studying again, and I think that will be a bit of a challenge to introduce booktube into my everyday life in an active way and actually filming enough videos to keep this channel going. The eighth question is, when did you start reading? And for me, I'd have to say probably very early on, when I was about 5. Even before I went to school, I started to kind of read, of course, a lot of picture books, but I was quite fast with really reading, not just looking at pictures. But in the sense of reading big books, I think that would be 5th or 6th grade. In Germany, that would be age 11 to 12, and that's when I discovered Harry Potter first, and that got me really into reading a lot and fast and not being afraid of even grown-up books. The ninth question is, where do you read? And for me that kind of depends. At the moment I'm in my parents' house for the holidays, and here that would mainly be either my desk in my room or like a living room, but when I'm back in my student flat that would be my reading armchair, because I really like being comfortable, but also I annotate a lot and I always have a pen with me when reading, so I kind of need a surface where to write on. I can't lie down and read. So that would be either my armchair or my desk as well, depending also on the book I read. And the last question is, what kind of books do you like to read? For me, as I already said, that is mostly non-fiction on a variety of subjects, being feminism, politics, philosophical stuff, on certain historical time periods or subjects. And what I especially like reading on with history and a lot of other subjects is memoirs and autobiographies, because I really like experiencing new subjects from the first-person perspective of the participants. With fiction, I kind of read all over the place, mainly depending on the subject on, for example, a novel, because I also like to choose novels that correlate with what I read in non-fiction at the moment. So for example, if I read a book on the Wars of the Roses in English history, I'd maybe like to choose a historical fiction novel set in that period to accompany my reading, because I always read several books at once. Also I like, for example, reading Shakespeare plays or poetry sometimes, and from all different kinds of genres. Thank you so much for watching. Everything I talked about will be linked down in the description box, so feel free to check that out, and maybe leave a like or a comment or subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And see you guys very soon. Bye!